Bachelor Juliana Pasquarosa reveals truth behind Grant-Ellis breakup. December 3, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News. Fans, The Bachelor star Juliana Pasquarosa has revealed the truth behind her and Grant-Ellis breakup. This was shocking for fans to hear. However, she finally thought it was time to give fans the clarity they have been searching for. She did not go into too much detail, however she gave enough for fans to understand what truly went on behind closed doors. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Grant-Ellis calls off their 3-month engagement. Grant-Ellis was the Bachelor, however his season did not go as anyone had planned. When he was announced as the Bachelor, the show received more applications than ever. However, once his season started to air, it was not like anyone imagined. A lot of fans ended up thinking it was boring and did not continue watching. In the end, Grant-Ellis proposed to Juliana Pasquarosa. The two seemed to be happier than ever with each other. However, after 3 months, they called off their engagement, and no one really knew why. This has been a question fans have been dying to know the answer to. Juliana Pasquarosa has finally revealed the truth behind her breakup with Grant-Ellis. She had a lot to say about it all. I think it was just a matter of how it was handled from his end, and trying to get him to take some accountability in that. And I was really upset, and I probably spoke out of anger and said some really hurtful things that night before. And then when we woke up, the first thing he had said to me was like he had game planned different ways we could announce our breakup, and I hadn't even made that decision yet on my end. She also revealed that they both said some things they shouldn't have the night before, which led to their breakup. However, Juliana also revealed that she was putting her emotions and feelings on the back burner so that she could focus on Grant. In the end, he did not care about this, and this upset Juliana. It seems as though the two said some things they shouldn't have. However, she woke up the next morning and Grant was already planning their breakup announcement. This is something that shocked her. Juliana felt as though she had put herself on the back burner for him and his feelings. However, he did not seem to do the same for her, and this was upsetting. What do you think about this? Are you shocked to hear the truth? Let us know in the comments. We would love to hear what you think.
Long before the breakup. Back on Bachelor Mansion's infamous Night 1, when Grant walked out of the limo with a single sunflower tucked in his jacket. "Because roses are expected," he had told her, smiling, "but you deserve something different." Juliana's heart had wavered, not fallen, just wavered, but that was enough. Throughout the season, Grant became the man viewers adored. Charming, steady, the guy who listened more than he spoke. He wasn't the flashiest contestant, but he was the one Juliana instinctively leaned toward when the camera stopped rolling. And that was what scared her most. The secret no one saw coming. As production continued, Juliana started noticing the cracks. Small moments at first. Grant would disappear between filming segments. He'd become tense whenever she mentioned the future. He'd say he loved her, but his eyes seemed to apologize every time he did. Juliana kept silent. America saw perfection, but she felt a story unraveling. Then came the night everything exploded. It was 2 weeks before the finale when she found him alone on the balcony, gripping his phone like a lifeline. His shoulders were shaking. He didn't notice her at first. When he did, he forced a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Jules, I didn't want you to see me like this." "What's going on?" she whispered. And that was when he told her, softly, hesitantly, about the thing he'd been hiding. "My past. It's coming back." The decision that broke them. Grant's truth wasn't scandalous, just deeply painful. A failed business, debt he was ashamed of, a family he had been financially supporting for years and felt he was letting down. He said he never wanted to bring all that chaos into your world. He wanted to be someone stronger, someone ready. Juliana didn't hesitate. "Grant, none of that changes how I feel." For a moment, he almost believed her. His shoulders eased, his smile flickered. She reached for his hand, but he pulled away. No, you deserve someone who isn't falling apart. Those words echoed in Juliana's memory like a ghost. The breakup heard around the world. They filmed the breakup scene at sunrise. The sky was a watercolor of pink and pale gold, completely at odds with the storm inside both of them. I can't accept this, Juliana said, voice breaking. I choose you. And I'm choosing to walk away, Grant replied, tears slipping down his cheeks. Because loving you shouldn't hurt you. Fans thought Juliana seemed too calm, too composed, too rehearsed. But composure is easier than collapsing. The world didn't know that when the cameras cut, she cried into her producer's shoulder for an hour. The world didn't know that Grant returned to set later that night and begged them not to air the balcony scene, hoping to protect her from the truth of why he left. But the truth, eventually, always demands to be seen. Chapter 5. Juliana's Reveal. And now, standing on the stage for the live reunion special, she faced the audience, millions watching, waiting. The host leaned forward. Juliana, after weeks of speculation, why did you and Grant really break up? She took a slow breath. Because sometimes love isn't enough. And sometimes the person you want the most is the one who feels unworthy of being loved. The audience stilled. Juliana continued, voice steady but warm. Grant didn't leave because of drama. He didn't leave because he didn't care. He left because he was struggling, because he was scared, because he was hurting. And I want everyone to know he didn't break my heart. He protected it the only way he knew how. A tear slipped down her cheek. But she smiled. Not broken, not bitter, just finally free. The unexpected ending. The crowd erupted in applause. People on social media exploded with support. And in that moment, she felt something she hadn't felt in months. Peace. After the camera stopped rolling, someone tapped her shoulder. She turned. It was Grant. He didn't say a word, just held out a sunflower. For old times, he murmured. She took it, smiling softly. Whatever happens next, I hope this time you choose to stay. He didn't promise, he didn't predict, he just met her eyes with hope. And for the first time since their breakup, it felt like the story wasn't ending.
The backstage
It was
hallway
beginning
was
again.
dim, lit only by the soft glow of studio bulbs reflecting off polished floors. Crew members hurried past, mumbling into headsets. But the noise faded as Juliana and Grant stood facing one another. Two people suspended in a moment that felt too delicate to touch. The sunflower trembled slightly in his hand. Juliana, I watched the entire interview, Grant said, voice low. I didn't expect... His breath shook. I didn't expect you to defend me like that. She swallowed. I wasn't defending you. I was telling the truth. He looked at her as if that truth hurt more than any attack ever could. The conversation they never had. A producer tried to rush Juliana to the exit, but she held up a finger. Just give me 5 minutes, she said without looking away from Grant. The producer hesitated, nodded, and slipped around the corner. Juliana motioned toward the quiet lounge at the end of the hallway. Grant followed, his steps slow and unsure, like someone approaching a memory instead of a person. The lounge was mostly empty except for a love seat and a flickering fluorescent light. Grant sat on the edge of the couch. Juliana took the seat beside him, leaving just an inch of space, an inch that felt louder than a scream. "You didn't have to come," she said. "I know," he murmured. "But when you said those things on stage, I realized how badly I handled everything." He leaned forward, elbows on his knees. "I thought walking away was the noble thing to do. I thought I was protecting you." Juliana let out a soft, broken laugh. "Grant, the only thing I needed protection from was silence." That hit him like a punch. He lowered his head. "I'm sorry for disappearing, for shutting down, for letting fear win." Juliana studied him for a moment, the man who once made her feel chosen, then abandoned, and now something in between. Fear didn't win, Grant. It just got the final edit. He looked up, eyes wide, shimmering. "Then let me rewrite the ending," he whispered. The moment that shocked the crew. Before Juliana could react, the door swung open. Hey, you two might want to step outside. Your mic packs were accidentally left on." Both froze. Grant blinked. "What?" Juliana's heart dropped. "You mean everything we just said?" "Yup," the cameraman winced. The whole studio heard it. For a heartbeat, the room held its breath. Then chaos erupted outside. Crew shouting, producers scrambling, audience members buzzing like a swarm of bees. Juliana exhaled sharply and covered her mouth, half horrified, half relieved. "We really don't know how to be subtle, do we?" Grant rubbed the back of his neck, embarrassed. "I told you I'm not good at hiding things." She smiled, unintentionally, uncontrollably. Maybe authenticity was better than perfection. The walk into the light. They were ushered toward the main studio doors for an unexpected encore moment, as the host called it. The audience was already buzzing with anticipation. Social media was exploding. When Juliana and Grant stepped on stage together, a wave of cheers filled the room. The host handed them each a microphone. "Well," he said, grinning like he'd won the ratings lottery, "seems like there's more to this story than we thought." Juliana and Grant exchanged a look, one filled with history, pain, and possibility. Grant spoke first. "I left because I didn't feel worthy," he admitted openly. "But after hearing Juliana tonight, I realized something. You can't protect someone by disappearing. Love requires showing up, even when it's messy." The audience hushed. He turned toward Juliana. "I don't know what the future looks like, but I know I want to face it with honesty and with you, if you'll let me." The crowd gasped. Juliana's eyes softened. "Grant, I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for presence, for effort, for truth." He took her hand gently, as though afraid she might disappear. "I can give you that," he whispered. Applause thundered. For the first time since their breakup, Juliana didn't feel like she was performing. She felt like she was choosing. A new beginning, or another twist. Backstage, after the cameras cut, Juliana leaned against the wall and let out a shaky breath. Grant approached her again, slower this time, calmer. "Tonight was a lot," he said. She nodded. "Yeah, it was. But I'm glad it happened." Juliana looked at him, searching for the fear she once saw. This time, she didn't find it. Instead, she saw a man who wasn't running anymore. "So, what now?" she asked cautiously. He smiled. Not a grand gesture, not a dramatic confession, just a real, human smile. "How about dinner?" he said. "No cameras, no pressure, just us." Juliana blinked, surprised by the simplicity of it. "Dinner," she repeated. "That sounds perfect." And as they walked toward the exit, away from the lights, away from the noise, toward a night neither of them had planned, Juliana realized something. Sometimes love isn't about the first chapter. It's about the courage to write the second. And theirs was just beginning.